Aloha and welcome. My name is John Johnson. I'm going to be the lecturer for ITS 381OT. This is the first time we've offered the class in about 5 years. There was no curriculum for this before I came in, so I've been working over the summer to develop a curriculum. Unfortunately, at the last minute, we had to make some adjustments because some of the parts that we were planning on using weren't available. Some of the parts have gone up in price, so there's been a lot of let's just say there's been a lot of changes that we've had to make last minute. And I've been trying to work within the budget that we've created that says that the students would only have to pay up to about $100 for this class. So we're working on, we're going to do it in two parts. The first part of the class, we're going to be working on the Pico. And the second half, we're going to be working on a Raspberry Pi, whether it's a Pi Zero or a different Pi. We're going to talk about that in the breakout not one-on-one sessions, but on the 2 or 3-on-1 sessions that we're going to be doing next week. So I will talk to you more about that in the future. But the first part of the class is going to be using the Pico set that I mentioned in email. And so I thought it'd be appropriate that in this first video, we'll do an unboxing. So I have gone out and bought the kit that I thought would be the best for the class and keep it in our price range. This one from Amazon was $62.77, which keeps us under our $100 budget. There's going to be a little bit more expense coming up for some people, depending on how we do the second part of the class, but I'm hoping to keep that relatively minor. So without further ado, let me show you the kit that we have gotten. And it is appropriately called the Starter Kit. And this is by Freenove, I believe it's called. And this is one of the one of the nicer kits, and it has all kinds of nice things in here. And I'm going to link in the description below a link to the Amazon site so we can take a look, or so you can go ahead and order this. If you order it now, it shouldn't take that long to get in. I'm hoping for about 3 or 4 days, but we'll see how that goes. Let me go ahead and open this then. So this is our starter kit. And my biggest concern was that it may not be the highest quality, but I've read good reviews. I tried to find one that had really good reviews, had a lot of people that had bought it, purchased it, reviewed it. And this seemed to be one of the ones that was recommended by Amazon. So the first thing we notice is once we open this, we pull it out and it has the whole starter kit in a nice little plastic box. That's a good thing. Also, don't throw out your starter kit because on here, in very tiny letters, there is a URL. And the nice thing is this URL goes to their site and it goes to a very obscure link to a tutorial. And the tutorial is going to have the instructions for a lot of the projects that we're going to be working on here. So I had intended on doing a specific subset of projects, not using this kit, but we would have to buy little pieces and parts and components that would have brought our cost up above what I wanted us to spend on this class. So instead of doing that, I thought it'd be a little bit better, instead of using the projects that I originally thought out, then it would be better to go and come up with this. This has over 100 projects that we can work on, and it has a variety of really cool stuff. So one of the things that I really wanted to make sure that we had in here was the Raspberry Pi, as well as a video out board. But it's got so much more than that. This is stickers that we're going to be putting on our devices. We've got, it's hard to do this, but it's got a nice little sheet that shows you information on the Pico itself, the Pico W. They do have a Pico kit and a Pico W. Make sure you get the Pico W kit. The W stands for wireless, and that's the only real difference. But you'll notice that we have all kinds of neat little things in here for projects, like a keypad. We can take out this. This is a remote control that we will probably get around to using. It wasn't in my original plans for this class, but if we've got a remote control, let's try using it. So there's other pieces and parts here. You're going to have plenty of things like LEDs. It looks like there's enough in there in case you accidentally blow some up. That'll be nice. And then let's see. Also in here, oh, the most important thing that we have is coming up. Let me, oh, this is a nice little LED circuit too. We've got the battery, so we can do a battery supply on it. We've got, as we go down, we've got a, this is really nice. Hold on, let me see if we can pull this out cleanly. But it seems that they have already pre-positioned a lot of things on the board, and we'll take it apart. But over here is the most important thing. This is our Raspberry Pi right here. This is our Raspberry Pico W. And this right here, this part, that little silver chip you see, that is the wireless part. So if you see a Pico, not a Pico W, but a Pico, it's going to be missing this chip on it. So make sure you get the right one. So use the link that I have in the description below. And it has plugged into here all kinds of neat little toys that we can use. And I don't even know off the top of my head what some of these are. LED display boards, more LED display boards. These are speakers, I believe, down here that we'll be using, and a number of chips. So this looks like it's an, I can't tell, my eyes aren't that good. But we've got USB out and some other functionality on there. But we're going to be taking most of this off of here in the beginning, because we'll start out with simple projects like LED blinking lights. But we have a lot of really cool things in here. And like this right here, it's an ultrasonic speaker. Well, one of them is going to be putting out sound. The other one's going to be receiving, so we can actually tell proximity from objects. So we're going to do a project involving that. Yeah, we just have all kinds of little things like stepper motors and, you know, just all kinds of great stuff. So we're going to try to utilize a bunch of this, but this is one of the things that I really want us to get. And this is a display board. So one of the projects that I had in mind originally was we were going to use the built-in temperature sensor on the Pico W, and we would display it simply on something, because that's a general thing you want to be able to do. You know, take measurements, display them, save them, transmit them, things like that. But one of the first things you want to do in order to make sure that you've actually got something correct, you can look at it in your terminal, but that's not as fun as actually outputting it to a board. So that's one of the projects that we're going to do. And then also in here we have plenty. Oh, they have plenty of other things in here. There's plenty of. You can see we've got a bunch of the headers that we'll use for different things. Oh, and nicely they have the USB-A and the micro USB connector for hooking up to your computer. And we also, this is something we'll be using a lot of our little pins that we're going to be using on the breadboards. So I am going to link down below everything that the kit, the URL off of Amazon, and I'll have you go ahead and order that now. It took about 4 days for it to come in. I will check right now as we speak just to see how long this is taking. I'm making this video on Thursday night, and on Thursday night, if I was to go in and try to repurchase the same thing, and I'm sorry you can't see this on here, I'm looking it up right now, but if I was to try to buy it again right now, I would be able to get it by Sunday, August 27th. So that's really soon. I don't think you're going to be buying it today. It might be Friday, it might be Saturday. So the dates will be the beginning of next week. But that's going to be great, because by the time we go and have our little one-on-ones, you'll have it in hand, and we can set up either Thonny or VS Code. I really want you to set up both environments. Thonny is like the one that everybody seems to use. I like using VS Code. That's why I was asking you about your favorite editor. There are extensions that you can put into VS Code to use the Pico and program it directly. So we're going to do both methods. You can figure out which one you like better. If you're used to the VS Code, which a lot of people are, you may just want to stick with that. But yeah, so we can get this in hand in probably 3 to 4 days. So if we can get it in 3 to 4 days, I expect everybody to have it by midweek next week. And then we can go through our interviews, and I can help you set things up in that and make sure that you get connected that first time. And by that point, I'll have some informational links to you just to give you a little bit of background about this. But the thing that I really want to stress right now that I just find amazing is this little tiny Raspberry Pi Pico right here. This little thing here has more memory, more ROM, more RAM than the guidance system on the rocket that brought the first people to the moon. So this little tiny thing here, this little tiny thing here has, I think it's like 9,000 times the RAM memory. So it's amazing what this little tiny thing does. And it just, you know, this whole thing costs, I think isolated, it would be about $7. So it's just mind blowing if you think about the cost of the original guidance system computer. So anyways, I'll go ahead and link down below where I want you to go to, you know, on Amazon to purchase it. Please do buy this same one. I'm not getting a kickback on this or anything. It's just that I want us all using the same thing, and it looks to be a quality set. So I look forward to us getting to use this. So hang in there. I'll be sending more information, and over the weekend, I'll set up our meets for next week so we can get together and go through this together. So thank you for your patience. I really appreciate it. And I will be seeing you all soon in Zoom. Thank you. Bye-bye.